Hi, this is Geoff Burke from Broadband Forum, and we are here at OFC in San Diego and at our BASe event. And we just had one of our key speakers, Ron Heron, who's the lead strategist for technology at Nokia, really give a great presentation on his view of really the intersection of 5G and the access network.
Right.
And I got to say, it was actually very well received. It was very, very well organized. And I wanted to let you just share some of your thoughts on what you're trying to convey.
Well, thanks a lot, and it was a lot of fun to think this through. Certainly, we're at a transition point, I believe, in the evolution of the access, where traditionally we've been focusing on higher speeds for residential. I think we're come to a point where 10 gig XGS is going to fulfill those needs for a good amount of time. We see a large growth of XGS in the future. And the next technology is going to be driven by mobile. In my belief. And mobile, we got to look carefully at it. What is driving the bandwidth? What are the requirements? And there are different spectrum. There are, the high spectrum, the low spectrum. They have different reach. They're going to affect the cell size. There's different amount of bandwidth, which is going to affect the capacity. There's MIMO, which is going to increase the capacity. And then there's this thing called backhaul, mid-haul, and front haul. And front haul just has a particularity that has very high bandwidth and very tight latency. So as we look ahead, I think the role of access will be very important to support the mobile rollout, particularly the small cell deployment. The macro cells, let's face it, they're already being fed by certain solutions. Access may play a role there. But as we go to smaller cells, as it gets closer to the home, we're going to be seeing the need for PON-like technologies to serve that. Now, TDM PON is evolving, TDM and TWDM. TDM going to higher speeds, 25, 50 gig. And those speeds, I believe, will be required to support mid-haul for small cells. Now, front haul is another level of bit rate and has requirements for latency, tight latency, which don't rule out TDM, but make it a little more difficult, which is causing certain operators to look at point-to-point wavelengths as another alternative. Some operators will be looking at a dedicated fiber plant. Others will be looking at a fiber plant that actually shares wavelengths, some wavelengths for residential, some for mobile. And one or the other, there could be similarities in that WDM type technology. There's different requirements. Number of wavelengths would be more for a dedicated plant with an AWG or wavelength mux in the field than an overlay on a power splitter network with where you have coexistence issues as well. So reduced wavelengths on that one. One or the other. I believe that there is an avenue. There's interest in this in the future, and there will be the need for some standardization work, a little bit, to bring up to 25 gig. And then also to look at those, particularly the AWG variant of that.
I was reading the audience while we were in there, was I think really in awe of the comprehensive nature of what you tried to address today, and it was great. It really was, and I think it was a great way to kind of tie up the day. I wanted to personally thank you. Nokia is a silver sponsor globally of our BASe events that go on. How was the day for you today here with the BASe event overall?
It's been really good. It's been well attended. Kind of an exciting, good dynamic, and a lot of good progress has been made in this field of next generation type PON, so we've got to just kind of keep it moving forward. So, yeah. Well,
that's our role to you do the roll up your sleeves and do the hard work, and we'll make sure that the events are in place and the infrastructure is in place that people can hear about it and be educated about it as it comes up. So,
very good.
Thank you very much for your support. Thanks for being a silver sponsor.
Pleasure.
And this is Geoff Burke signing off from OFC in San Diego.